Iraq economic news and points to ponder Monday afternoon, September 22, 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. The Iraqi Stock Exchange trades shares worth 4 billion dinars within a week. Economy, 2 o'clock September 22, 2025. Mawazin News. Baghdad. The Iraq Stock Exchange announced on Monday that shares worth more than 4 billion dinars were traded last week. The market reported that the number of companies whose shares were traded last week reached 59 joint stock companies, while the shares of 34 companies were not traded due to the lack of matching of buy and sell orders, while 11 companies remain suspended for failure to disclose their shares, out of 104 companies listed on the market. According to the report, the number of traded shares reached 5,359,690,000 shares, an increase of 68.5% compared to the previous week, with a financial value of 4,555,042,000 dinars, an increase of 25% compared to the previous week through the execution of 4,053 transactions. According to the market report, the ISX 60 traded price index closed at 964.24 points, recording a 10% increase compared to its closing in the previous session, noting that the number of shares purchased by non-Iraqi investors last week amounted to 95 million shares with a financial value of 395 million dinars through the execution of 102 transactions. The number of shares sold by non-Iraqi investors reached 197 million shares, valued at 445 million dinars, through 133 transactions. The Iraq Stock Exchange holds 5 trading sessions weekly, from Sunday to Thursday, and lists 104 Iraqi joint stock companies representing the banking, telecommunications, industry, agriculture, insurance, financial investment, tourism, hotels, and services sectors. Central Bank. Iraq to bid farewell to cash payments in 2026 economy. September 22, 2025. Mawazin News. Baghdad. The central bank expects July 2026 to be the date for ending cash payments in all government institutions and other facilities. The Director of Supervision of Non-Banking Financial Institutions at the bank, Durgham Musa, said in a statement to the official newspaper, followed by Mawazin News, that the central bank, within the framework of legislation and regulations and under the direct supervision of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and specialists in other ministries, has achieved progress in the field of electronic payments. He pointed out that trillions of dinars have been paid electronically, in addition to the complete absence of cash transactions in the departments of the Ministry of Interior. Musa described these indicators as excellent, aspiring to generalize the experience to all state ministries, indicating the existence of more than one initiative to encourage other state institutions to enter the framework of electronic digital payments. He expected that Iraq will completely abandon cash transactions in state institutions and other facilities in July of next year, thanks to the efforts and direct supervision of the government and the sectoral body represented by the central bank. Central bank. Exports and imports to decline in the second quarter of 2025. Money and Business Economy News. Baghdad. The Central Bank of Iraq announced, on Monday, a decline in exports and imports in Iraq during the second quarter of 2025. The bank stated, in statistics reviewed by Al-Iqtisad News, that Iraqi exports declined during the second quarter, Q2, of the current year to reach $23.285 billion, compared to imports in the first quarter, Q1, in which exports reached $24.112 billion. According to the central bank statistics, exports included crude oil worth $20.956 billion, petroleum product exports worth $981 million, and other exports worth $1.347 billion. She explained that Iraqi imports also declined to $17.534 billion, compared to $18.158 billion in the first quarter. She noted that imports included government imports worth $1.813 billion and private sector imports worth $15.993 billion. The Ministerial Economic Council discusses maximizing non-oil revenues and supports initiatives to support agriculture and industry. The Ministerial Economic Council discussed the Ministry of Water Resources proposals to maximize non-oil revenues, stressing the importance of finding practical solutions that would contribute to supporting the state's general budget by increasing the ministry's revenues. The council also discussed the Ministry of Commerce's proposal to establish a commercial zone specializing in agricultural products and supplies. This zone would serve as a marketing and surplus export center, supporting the agricultural sector and contributing to boosting farmers' income. In the same context, the Ministerial Council for the Economy decided that the General Directorate of Industrial Development would be responsible for granting establishment licenses for new factories producing prime coats, asphalt, and industrial solvents, in a move aimed at boosting local industrial activity and meeting market needs. This comes as part of the government's drive to diversify sources of income and reduce dependence on oil, by supporting the agricultural and industrial sectors and enhancing their contribution to the national economy. Al-Mandlawi to Barzani. Baghdad and Erbil must cooperate on the budget and wealth management issues. Money and Business Economy News. Baghdad First Deputy Speaker of Parliament Mohsen al-Mandlawi stressed on Monday that the current phase requires high-level coordination between Baghdad and Erbil to address economic and security challenges, particularly those related to the budget and natural resource management in accordance with the constitution. A statement issued by his office, received by Al-Iqtisad News, stated that Mandlawi met with the president of the Kurdistan region of Iraq, Nechervan Barzani, in the presence of a number of representatives, to discuss a number of important national issues. Foremost among them the relationship between the federal government and the region, and mechanisms for consolidating political and economic stability in the country. Al-Mandlawi stressed that the current phase requires high-level coordination between Baghdad and Erbil to address economic and security challenges, particularly those related to the budget and the management of natural resources in accordance with the Constitution. He stressed the importance of unifying efforts to support the process of administrative and financial reform, noting that addressing these issues will be a key step towards strengthening citizens' confidence in government institutions, both centrally and regionally. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.